What is up, gentlemen? NYKF31 here. This is the SSL Online CFM Week 2. Um, had a tough opener against the Cowboys. The Panthers have a tough early season schedule. Cowboys and then the Falcons. Jesus. So anyway, came up short in Week 1 against the Cowboys, and we got the ATL, who was coming off a win against the Eagles. So let's get at it. Let's see if we can bounce back and
All right, thanks,
play better.
Coach.
We're on a
EA
nice little
Sports
roll
coverage of the
here.
National Football
I've been
League
playing
is
much
on the
better
air.
over the past 3 or
A
4
moment
days,
ago, here was the
and
scene.
feeling
The
a
Falcons
little bit more
coming
like
out
my
from their
old
tunnel
self. And
to
hey,
roll.
that's part of it. Sometimes you're going to go through ruts. Sometimes you're going to struggle. Sometimes you're going to have to evolve your game to the new game. Nothing wrong with that. Everybody loses. I don't care if you're playing online regs, if you're playing MUT Draft, online CFM, whether you're a pro Madden player playing challenge events, everybody loses. Don't be fooled by your favorite YouTuber uploading and winning all the time. Trust and believe your favorite prominent YouTuber is losing games. They're just not uploading them because they don't want to look bad in front of their 14-year-old subscribers. Unless you're one of the top 1 to half of a percent of the Madden players in the world there going 25-0 in weekend league, you're losing games. No shame in it. Grind, get better, overcome. But anyhow, he's on the march here already, running some stretch with Mr. Freeman. And with the Panthers, their secondary is so bad that I basically have to play out of 2 high. I cannot play any single high at all. Or not a whole heck of a lot of it. And especially with Julio Jones out there, I have no answer for him. And in this game, he's going to have him either in the slot or sometimes in trips. He's going to be the solo side receiver. Whenever he's solo side, I'm playing some type of bracket cover 3 cloud. When he's in the slot, I just have to, pay attention to him clearing out vertical or going across the field deep, and hope it doesn't cause too much damage. Like right here, we get a nice pass rush there. Mario Addison and Peppers kind of converge in the backfield, and we get 3rd and 19. So here we're going to be in straight Tampa 2. And we're going to leave Luke alone in the deep middle, and I'm going to sacrifice that. I'm going to force him to take that, and he's going to have to settle for the field goal attempt, which on Madden is not a gimme. Kick is up, and it is shanked. Would have been wide anyway if it was long enough, but there you go. So we're on offense. Got a good look here for a little 2x2 bubble, and this is my 3rd draft of my custom Power Raid playbook. Still working on it. Just trying to get it down to into the most condensed version possible. You can't really make a true air raid playbook in Madden because there's not really there's not nearly enough of air raid concepts in the game to begin with that you can use in a playbook editor. So that's problematic in itself, but we're trying to get some facsimile of a quote-unquote pro-style air raid system that BYU used to run, that Arizona used to run when Sonny Dykes was there, and mix it with spread West Coast concepts as well. So we're on the march here, and we get CJ Anderson loose there on the inside zone split. Had a good look for that. And we're knocking on the door, and Christian McCaffrey will knock the door over. So we are up 7-0. So back on B we go, and you see me playing on the deep safety quite a bit. Whenever I'm in any type of match zone coverage against a trips formation, I'm controlling the safety on the strong side of the formation. I don't fear the match rules. I am the match rules. I am not going to live and die with spot drop zone coverage. And, we do know that the safety is going to bork if he's left alone. So I know the match rules. I'm going to play them myself. And I have the 2 best linebackers in the entire game on stock coverage, not on stock coverage, in stock rosters, stock red rosters in zone coverage as a tandem. I'll trust them underneath and have them do their thing, and hopefully the pass rush gets home. So anyhow, back on, and this is a formation that I'm probably going to have to junk. This bunch wide, it looks better than it really is. You see that bunch Z spot, and it's not enough that spot route is delayed off the line of scrimmage once the other two routes clear. That in itself would be okay, but he ignores all of that vacant space that they created and runs right to where the defender is, and I can't throw the ball. So, yeah, we're going to have to junk that. One of those formations that you say, ooh, this looks really nice, but when you actually have it in your playbook and try to run it, it's not very useful at all. That's the trial and error that comes with the playbook creation process. And right there, Julio Jones just runs right by Thomas Davis. My blitzers take the worst blitz angles that you'll ever see, and he's going to knock in here and try to tie the game. He doesn't do it on that play, but he'll do it on this one. So we are tied 7-7. That was disappointing. So anyway, back on offense. Gun doubles is my base formation. And of course, the playbook editor being what it is, and the play distribution amongst the formations being what it is, I have to have like 4 versions of gun doubles in order to get a nice mixture of both mirrored concepts and concepts that comment those mirrored concepts. So we are on the march again. Got a good little rhythm going on. Nice little mix of run and pass. Christian Mccaffery finding space. Averaging about just shy of 5 yards a pop. And look at this alley that gets created off the shotgun counter. It got me really excited at first, but of course, when I get the alley there on shotgun counter for once, my outside receiver does not block anybody. So that was disappointing. Had to settle for 3, up 10-7. Runs a little mesh there. Gets Hooper some space there. Again, I'm just trying to focus on Julio Jones and not letting him run free. Good job by him there. Again, he's in a good little rhythm now. Gonna try to break it. Gonna show some too deep again, but we're gonna be in cover 6 invert this time. And I gotta get some DBs on this team. They're so bad. And by some act of God, he's able to shake out of there and house that. So just like that, I'm down again. Remember yesterday I said I'm not going to run any more slip screens? Sure enough, I run a slip screen. 2-yard loss. 3rd and long. If I hung in there just a little longer, that shallower post and the double post would have gotten some space, but yeah, you know, that'll happen. I stepped up in the pocket. I was kind of feeling that I didn't have too much time left, so there you go. But we get the ball right back. So we're trying to get some points here with $1:05 left in the half. Gonna run a little wheel here to the slot. I'm gonna try to hit Curtis Samuel down the sideline, and we outstick him there. He may have had a little bit of a input delay on his button press, but we get the user catch over him, and he gets called for PI in the process, which we decline. So sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. We're going to spring some 2-man under with only a 3-man rush, and we get the INT. Ross Cockrell. Let's go. Got some time to tack on some more points here. It's 3rd and long. I just want to get this ball right here a little closer and toward the middle of the field. So I'm not going to get too greedy here. If the shallow cross is there, I'm going to take it. And of course, I end up on the right hash, so I got to be careful with my meter. Thank goodness I have Graham Gano, who helps a lot. And we're able to tack on 3 more. So we're up 20-14 going into the half with the ball. Got a nice look here for a QB draw. You don't run design QB runs with Cam Newton to slide with him, so there you go. Gun bunch the spot. We try to hit the off coverage curl, and we don't get an animation on the user possession catch. That's got to be addressed. Too many instances of not getting animations when your user playing a receiver going for the ball, or a defender going for the ball, or in that case, a receiver. Got to be fixed. Addison there. Mario Addison is having himself a day. 3rd sack. 3rd and 29. 2nd and 29. Gets a little bit closer there. And again here, we're going to be in cover 6. I'm not afraid to use the trip side safety and play the match rules. Didn't have anywhere to go there, so he forces it into traffic. It's a different ball game when you can play match. The holes are a lot smaller. That's all you want to do when you're playing zone coverage is have those gaps be as small as you can possibly make them. And if you have good personnel, you know, hopefully they can make plays for you. I have a very zone coverage heavy team. I have a pretty good defensive line and great zone coverage backers. So that's the way it has to be. Going for two here. We run Cam on the QB powers are up 28-14. Gonna play some man. I don't know why this happens. I have my matchups by depth chart, but for some reason in the nickel, Thomas Davis gets lined up on Julio Jones in the spot in man coverage. I tried to use or press him, but of course Julio Jones is going to break the press of a dang linebacker in coverage. So there you go. And there I just took a bad angle. I had the right play call. I had it set up right, but I took a bad angle with my safety, and I could not close and make a play on the ball there. So it's 28-21, and Christian McCaffrey with some one-cut goodness and the acceleration burst, and he is out. Score is untouched off the 0-1 trap. My goodness. I'm in too deep, runs the ball, smart move by him there. Next play, he's going to run some play action here, I think. Here comes Peppers. And of course, I never get them back. Same song, different verse. I never get sack fumbles back. I never ever do. Second and long, straight Tampa 2 here. Mario Addison. We popped some aggressive pass rush there on second and long, given the situation, 2-possession lead. And long yardage, might as well. Why have them not pinning their ears back in that situation? Trying to muscle it here in second. And I tried to get over to the left. I just couldn't quite do it. And we get stacked up there. So gonna have to give the ball back. And again, Julio in that slot, running deep. He comes off of him once, you know, he clears out. But Thomas Davis makes him pay the price. That's what I'm talking about. Luke and Thomas Davis need to be destroyers underneath. Stretch, whoop, whoop. Christian McCaffrey is so good. Once he gets into space, he is a problem. Gonna go off tackle the other direction. Whoop. And he houses it again. So it's the Christian McCaffrey show right now. He's got 3 touchdowns and about $170 on the ground. So here we're in man coverage again. We're going to try a little inside-outside bootleg cone bracket coverage with the safety there, bracketing Julio Jones with me, and we get the user INT. I've been wanting to try that at some point early in the year just to see if it'll work. It didn't have much success in Madden 17 because the defender would just give up his leverage and the double team would be useless. But there, it shows some promising signs. So I'm going to come back to that and see if I can get that to work consistently. Bill Belichick will be proud. He does that all the time, where he will play bracket coverage on one or multiple threats, or the 2 most dangerous threats in the field, and play man coverage everywhere else, and trust his corners to match up against the weaker options that his opponent has to offer. Big 6 there. He said that his on his side that there was some lag that might account for some of the late throws that he's making to the outside, but what can you do? Again, match coverage. There's greater traffic, and you get a overthrow. Second and long. Mario Addison again. Now we're just pitting our ears back and rushing him like a bad man. 6 sacks for Addison. Now here we get Luke being thrown for a loop there. He needs to carry number 3 vertical across the field all the way. He came down. In that situation, that's one of those things one of those coverage bugs that need to be addressed. Number 3 vertical is his all the way. He can't come off of him if someone else is crossing the field underneath. It just can't happen. We try the cone bracket on Julio Jones again in the slot. It held up nicely. He was forced to come off of him and go back to the Sanu. Bang, bang play. We're going to now bracket Sanu and Julio Jones, see if that holds up. I'll live with that. If he has to go to option number 3 and it's Hooper, okay. As long as it's not Sanu and Julio. So this has potential. I'll try it in Mutt and Mutt Draft. If it works there, then I'll feel good about it. And I'll share it. I want to see how that works against meta stuff. If it'll work against meta, it'll work against everything else. That's when you know that what you're doing is sound. One issue I can foresee already, I'll have to manually cover wheel routes by the back out of the backfield. And slot wheels might be an issue, but, you know, you got to give something to get something at times. It's not something I would do serially, but situationally, depending on what formation is out there. So anyhow, 4th and goal is going to try to punch it in. Again, I'm going to try the bracket once again on Julio Jones, and we get the deflection. So here, we'll just kneel it out and take the W and get to 1-1. So I'm happy with the progress that the playbook is making. I still want to try to get it a little bit smaller and more concise, and I'm going to experiment more with this bracket man coverage and see if it holds up in venues where the meta reigns supreme, and go from there. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoy. I will talk to y'all later. Peace.
They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Carolina, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they will fall to 1-1, and they'll try to make amends next week as they host the New Orleans Saints.